affordable price. So I wanted to get a watch that is a little bit designed like if you were drunk.
Yeah.
I have on today the Swatch Fury. The Swatch Fury.
You could get yourself almost a vintage anything, a vintage JLC.
You can get yourself a new Bremont. Have you seen this guy before? Cool guy.
Pizza, pasta, put it in a box, bring it here and put it on my top. The tortellini on my weenie, pepperoni on the walls, cheesy on my beanie and some salsa on my balls. Put it in a box, bring it here and put it on my top. The tortellini on my weenie, pepperoni on the walls, cheesy on my beanie and some salsa on my balls.
Very good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to another episode of Touch My Clock. So today, what we're thinking, we're currently in Italy, as you'll see some lovely shots during the episode.
It's a professional trick to make sure he's got perspective between myself and the camera.
Huh?
Build the thing.
So we thought we would talk about the normal things you would drink when you're in Italy. So you start your day normally in the morning with a little espresso, some coffee. Then maybe for lunch you have some pasta with some wine. And then you might finish the evening with a little bit of limoncello. So what we thought is we're going to try to associate each of us one watch to each of those drinks. You will let us know if you think they're quite appropriate or not. Does that sound like a good idea?
Sounds like a fabulous idea.
So how about we do a wristwatch check first?
Okay.
Matt, what did you got on your wrist?
What I've got on my wrist is Imado. Imado, another brand, 70s, quartz crisis, doesn't exist anymore. And it's what I really loved about this watch is I went on eBay and I found a seller selling a Buon Mercier with the exact same bracelet for something like £3,000. And I love, even though it's relatively simple, I love the workmanship and the detail you get in the bracelet. And then in a previous episode, which I will link back, I was talking about how I really wanted a gold watch, but I just couldn't find one that fit me. And this is one that definitely fits me. And this is probably a purchase I spend £30 on. And it probably keeps better time than most of my other vintage watches. This
You look like an Italian mafia boss.
It's
now.
super bling.
It's appropriate for the episode, I guess.
Tortilla de camarón.
That's probably Spanish. Anyway, what do you got on the wrist?
I have on today the Swatch Fury. The Swatch Fury, which is a rare it's a chrono, and it's a very, very rare. Actually, to find these straps, which are pure cowhide, are really difficult. I love the straps.
Horrendous
and I
straps.
thought,
I love it.
I thought,
my God.
I thought, wow, could you find others? And it's really difficult to find. So I wore this, and with Max and I, we went to the Swatch art journey and this immersive experience. And then you saw all the different watches, and at the end I had basically a counter with all of the different Swatch watches. And so I went to try some on. So as I tried some on, I took my watch off and I put it actually into the counter. And it was the watch that all the girls picked out because it was just so unusual. I just love this sort of, really, really wacky strap and great sort of, beautiful dark red dial.
I mean, look, because to me, I love the face of the watch. I think it looks cool. But that strap is hideous.
Oh, the cow fur.
That's the point.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
the
part
idea.
of it. But that is horrendous.
To me, that's the when
Vintage,
Swatch was
1994.
way more playful and experimental and crazy.
Yeah, I like the idea of playing around with these kind of things. But that is, I couldn't have that on my wrist.
I know. But nowadays, like a crazy swatch to us is, maybe they have a painting that goes from the dial to the strap.
Yeah.
But as we saw in previous episodes, mine had, a snow globe on it. This one is cowhide. They
used to go cuckoo in the 90s.
Yeah, it's a bit like Christopher Ward, getting slowly less experimental with their pieces. Uh-oh.
We're supposed to have brands like us, Max, not hate us.
No, I love Christopher Ward.
We love Christopher Ward. We all have a Christopher Ward.
I can sense a more commercial...
Yes,
objective
unusual
from
rebranding. But apart from that, what have you got on your wrist?
You're confusing Christopher Ward and Bremont.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so we're going to get two enemies on our episode. We're going to get Bremont and Christopher Walters going to
There
hate
you go.
us.
The British community really is going to like us.
I mean, if you saw the latest release of Bremont, you'd understand our opinion. But anyway, other than that, I'm wearing a Poljot chronograph, which is a Russian chronograph. So in these times, it's great to wear these kind of things. This is a watch I bought myself when I did my first solo flight, actually, in my flight school. So I decided to commemorate that moment and establish it and buy this Poljot. It's really nice in steel, white dial chronograph. It's fully functioning. It just looks great. I mean, there's not much really to say. It's just a great watch.
Yep, I love it. Fantastic. The Russian Association, bad timing, as you said. However, it is a shame because Russian watches, especially from 70s, 80s, really do have a special place, I think, in the horological community. I think,
especially in the vintage world, it's just great. You can collect so much of these Russian pieces and for such an affordable price. And they're really easy to service and everything because they're so cheap.
But to balance out, you are buying a number of watches from your Ukrainian supplier.
Yeah, so what that says, I don't know. But anyway. So, shall we start the episode?
Yeah, what do you start your day with? What do you start with, whiskey or with...
rum, straight, yeah.
Rum, straight. What's your
Just
rum
right before the flight, Okay, now, coffee, of course. We'll start with coffee. So who has coffee?
So, coffee. Now, I really adore watches that use particularly good materials, and we've seen some really fascinating materials. Breitling's own bespoke titanium, the micro bioceramics from Swat. And one material I really love is where you take coffee and you compress the coffee at really, really high pressure, and you can make paneling, which are truly, truly fascinating. And it's a really, really good recyclable way and pretty solid. When I was running with a coffee company, we made some coffee cart and tables and chairs with it. And then a watch company came out, Lithuania, who came out with...
Which you thought he was
with
it was too central for me to think it was
with a watch which actually made out of recycled coffee, which I think is superb. And it's very much like a bowl. To protect that bowl look, they've put the crown actually on the back. So it's a quartz watch you press in the back and to change the time. And from recycled compressed materials, I think it's wonderful. With a cork strap, this is a limited edition. This is number 0088. It's just a fantastic
one
out.
away.
But just a fantastic way of using that and making a really good message. And I've even got here my own little espresso coffee cup. An espresso coffee cup is made from compressed coffee, so it really goes complementary with this watch.
But it's made with the use after you consume it. Yeah.
So once
not
you make
with
the coffee
grains, but with the compressed
used coffee grains, which is therefore that whole point
straight,
about recyclability.
Yeah,
it's super. You know what? There's something again to collecting quartz pieces at a more affordable price, and I love the story of this. And it's got even in terms of design, I kind of like the German aesthetic to design that it's got. So it's got indents within the dial, even though it's sunburst. It's very minimalist. The dials are very white and very,
And they came in different colours. I think there was an espresso, a cappuccino, latte colour. And I love the espresso, the dark one. And I think the white hands really set it off very well. Very readable.
The strap too. The strap, it looks like it's cork.
It's a cork and leather.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a cool thing that brands can do. Just be sustainable in that way and using materials like this. It's quite interesting. And I like when brands change. So for the case is made of coffee grains. Some brands that we've seen it with cheese, with wood. We know wood is not a great material for.
Don't buy wood watches.
Don't buy wood.
Don't buy wood watches.
But I'm saying for the idea of that brands are trying and doing different
do
things.
buy coffee watches.
Yep.
There you go.
Super cool pick.
Yeah,
very
nice
cool
pick. Now, what do we have after? So we said for lunch. You got some pasta, little glass of wine.
I think you get a glass of wine. What glass of wine do you usually have? What kind of wine do you like having here in Italy? A Chianti, Barolo.
Just take a house wine.
House wine.
And pour.
So, for your house wine,
what is your house
wine? It's usually a
watch?
wine that will get you quite quickly and at an affordable price. Okay. So I wanted to get a watch that is a little bit designed like if you were drunk.
Yeah.
And it's affordable, like Elliot. This is I don't even have a name for it. What would you call it?
Hand painted.
I was going to say a trustee, but
My what?
I was going to say a trustee, but
on a 40 strap. I think the watch would be, the more you drink, I think the more you appreciate this particular watch.
Probably, yeah, actually. So maybe it's quite well for wine after like 4 bottles.
So this is a nondescript vintage piece, but what's special about this is that someone actually went in and hand painted the dial. Now this isn't like IFL watches where they come in and they put sprinkles of dots and they call it a day. This was actually done with a lot more care and attention, and there's a little face at the bottom that has crosses in its eyes, almost to indicate getting drunk at the end of the night. And this is almost a refined looking piece until you really look into it and you're like, what is this character in the middle? And I think that's kind of like wine. You start off the night seemingly refined, and the more you drink, the more it becomes debauchery. And what do you do when you drink a lot of wine?
No, take that.
Mamma mia!
That. No, especially that
It comes
part.
out in the PP.
Especially that part.
Is your PP
yeah.
red?
What? No, it's purple. Anyway, so on that note, so I picked my watch. So when you finish an evening, you finish it, with like little digestif. So limoncello, which would be associated, in Italy. Anyway, so I picked not a watch that I have now, but you'd be like, oh, so original.
For the record, Elliot had just told me behind the scenes that he went on eBay and he just searched yellow and then vintage.
No,
So
Yellow, lemon,
no,
limoncello.
I did research
That's
about
right.
what I could associate limoncello with, something yellow. So I picked the Big Lemon by
Yeah.
Zenith. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. You've got a nice real picture of that.
Oh, LVMH boys.
It's the A3637 by Zenith. It's got a really good caliber, 2542. Apparently it's very good. I think it was done by Angelus. What was it?
Angelus?
Angelus, there you go. Yeah, Angelus that made the movement. So
2524 sounds like a ETA type movement, no?
it's not.
Is it not? Okay.
It's an Angelus. I think so. If I'm wrong, probably. But anyway, these are great divers. They're 1,000 meters of water resistance. They're really large for their time. I think they're like 44 millimeters wide. So, really wearable nowadays, unlike a lot of it. Lovely bakelite bezel. And it's just really nice. Just pure yellow and pure vintage goodness. This is the kind of things they're really harder to find. It's really unique. But it's just great, It's something great to have in a collection that basically no one else will. So I thought this would be great because it's yellow. So
Good house. They're, I think the most percent was around £4,000.
yeah, they're
So
around for
a really good, respected house. I think they've been going since 1860 something, and so they do some really amazing watches. It's a really good choice.
Yeah,
Perfect
you got,
with the limoncello.
I mean, yeah, Zenith. You've got great brand history. You got the great innovations that they used to do. Fantastic movements. So I mean, I don't think you can lose from that.
How much does this go on eBay for?
That's like $4,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Vintage.
Yeah. These are tougher to find.
Wow, that's expensive for
Yeah.
vintage. You could get yourself almost a vintage anything, a vintage JLC.
You can get yourself a new Brembo. So anyway, that's that. Let us know below if you have any watches that you would associate to drinks, and which one of us was the closest to the pick, I would say.
And if you're interested in a second episode where instead of talking about the daily life of Elliot in Italy with drinks, maybe the daily life of Jason in England, where it's a cup of tea, perhaps a little whiskey at night, a beer, tell us down below.
Maybe
All
you
of
can
that.
let us know.
Remember to
Like.
and to
Subscribiate.
and comment. Great to see you. Bye, tickets.
Bye.